Hey, welcome to the Inner Circle, the podcast that brings you behind the scenes with Omaha's most influential leaders, innovators, and changemakers. I'm Gil Cohen, and after more than 15 years with Omaha Magazine, I've had the privilege of building connections with people shaping the future of our city. Every episode, we will have an insider's look at the stories, challenges, and insights you won't find anywhere else. Whether it's business, government, sports, or the arts, the Inner Circle is your front seat to the voices that drive Omaha forward. True civic leadership is built on a foundation of service and commitment. Who are the figures who successfully transition from protecting our community to leading it? Today, we're joined by Omaha's 52nd Mayor, John Ewing Jr., to share his remarkable journey from a police officer on the Omaha Force and commander of the Special Victims Unit to serving as Douglas County Treasurer, and now to guiding the future of our city. Get ready to hear his vision for economic growth, targeted workforce development, and his compassionate approach to addressing key challenges in Omaha, such as domestic violence. Hey, good morning or afternoon or evening. Gil Cohen with the Inner Circle, and very honored and privileged to have the 52nd Mayor of Omaha with us today, Mayor John Ewing Jr. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you, Gil, for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Thanks. I'm excited that you're here. This is, what are you going on? Probably about 130 days?
Probably around 150 or so. I think this is coming up on 5 months.
And we have some, certainly there's some firsts with John. I believe you're probably the first police officer who's ever become mayor of the city.
I believe so.
Probably the first Douglas County Treasurer was.
Yeah, I think there's one more that people might be interested in. I'm the first Black mayor of Omaha.
I had noticed. Well, that
Sure.
be one of the notable firsts. So, very honored to have you here. You're 52nd mayor, the, 40th, 41st largest city in the United States?
41.
Yeah. That's pretty cool.
It's very cool. Very, very cool.
So, one of the things I want to talk about today, if you don't mind, and then I do want to say something for later on. You had an acronym, or you have an acronym that you use. It's happy. I want you to touch on that, but I want to chat a little bit about the transition from law enforcement to Douglas County Treasurer to mayor, and how that road, why did you follow that path, and how was that road been?
So the first thing is I joined the Omaha Police Department at 20. I was a business major at UNO. And so as I was looking at what I wanted to do for a career, I really wanted to go into management, probably at Sears or somewhere like that, where I was working part-time. While I was at Sears, a couple people, lady named Linda DeBolt, who was a secretary for the police department, and a guy named Joe Crinklaw, who was a police officer for the police department, worked security, and they saw my work ethic in the stock room and some of the other places I worked, and they kept encouraging me to apply. I like to say, actually, they bugged me to no end to apply, and I finally applied to get them off my back. Then as I was going through the process, I said, wait a minute, this would be a great job, and it would be my job as long as I didn't do anything stupid. I thought I was smart enough to survive and not do anything stupid. Yeah. So very successful career. We were able to get some things done for the community. One of the things I'm really proud of is I was able to get a coalition of folks together in 2003. 2004, and actually get 10 laws passed to protect women and children from some of the things I was seeing happening when I was the unit commander for the Special Victims Unit.
This is why you were deputy?
This is why I was a lieutenant.
Okay.
Then I ended up getting promoted to deputy chief about 7 months later.
Okay.
And as a deputy chief, I was responsible for Homeland Security, partnering with the state, but then also we created a group called UASI, which was the Urban Area Security Initiative. Okay. And we incorporated Sarpy, Washington, and Douglas County together to be able to go get funds from the federal government for Homeland Security. Wow. So that was pretty neat. We actually got as much money during that time as like New York City. So they were a little bit upset with how does Omaha get all this money? But what we did is we were very strategic. Mm-hmm. We talked about Offutt and Stratcom and how that was a high-level target. Right. Then we talked about the College World Series and some of those things being a high-level target. Then we also mentioned the Fort Calhoun nuclear plant.
Yeah, that's three big.
Yeah, all three of those.
There, yeah.
And so that allowed us to get a lot of resources for the three counties when it came to Homeland Security. Then after I had been deputy chief about 2.5 years, I got elected to Douglas County treasurer. And that was actually a pretty big transition.
If you don't mind, was there a reason why you picked Douglas to run for Douglas County
absolutely.
Treasurer? Yeah, just
absolutely.
Curious, how do you some people run for Senate, some run for Congress, you ran for
I ran for treasurer for a couple reasons. The biggest one is I saw where a lot of the things I had done during the police department days actually transferred to the treasurer's office. Okay. An example would be when you look at the audits and all of those things that the treasurer's office undergoes. I had been involved in a number of audits with different organizations responsible for resources. Then also I did audits at the police department. Then also the treasurer's office had 5 locations plus the downtown location. Well, when I was a deputy chief, I was responsible for our 21 facilities that we had. Wow. And then there were other things that really records and all those type of things that I had done as well that applied. Yeah. So I felt like it was a job I could do. And then the other part of it was really being able to continue my public service career in Omaha.
Yeah. And so there were enough symbiotic relationship between the two organizations that it was easy. I didn't want to say easy to take over, but I felt comfortable that it was something I could do. And then that allowed me to stay in Omaha. Right. And then I was there for 18.5 years, reelected 5 times, and just really enjoyed the opportunity to serve the community. I saw an opportunity to run for mayor. I believe there was some opportunities to get some things finished, like the crossroads and one civic square and a few other things that we could get done, but also I could finish up some things, but start some new things and really be able to build some partnerships. One of the partnerships I'm working on now is really working with the business community, the elected officials, so that we can develop an economic incentive package that will allow us to be more competitive when it comes to trying to allow our current companies to be able to expand in Omaha, but then also companies outside of Omaha coming to Omaha as well, then maintaining the companies we have. Would that be part of the Inland Port Authority, or is this
that's something completely different. Now the Inland Port Authority could benefit from the economic incentives if they recruit companies to come here, but it's really more of a comprehensive approach that would allow us to be able to recruit companies here in Omaha or in Nebraska.
In the area, right.
Well, in Nebraska as a whole.
I remember the Governor Pillen telling me last year that the state, I thanked him for lowering the income tax because it's dropping. I said, how are you going to make up that additional revenue? And he said, Gil, the state at that time was short 80 to 100,000 employees of full employment. So we just not only have to get the businesses here, but we have to find the people to move here too. And we are, like we said, the 41st largest city, right? And probably the metro area, probably even larger than that when you take into account Sarpy County and Pottawatomie County. Should be an easy decision for people to move here, but it's...
Well, I think you have to do two things. One, I think you have to recruit companies or have companies expand where they bring some of those workers with them.
Right.
But then you also have to make sure that we have the workers here in the state of Nebraska,
right,
to be able to get them skilled up and prepared for the jobs that are available. One of the things we do a lot of workforce development stuff, and I'm not sure that it all gets people ready for the jobs that are available. So I want to see us be more intentional about saying, okay, this company needs these jobs.
Right.
Find the people to train and get them in those jobs.
Yeah.
So tie workforce development to an actual job, career, or entrepreneurial opportunity.
Yeah, and that's not an overnight thing. It's
going to take some time to build it, but the reality is, if you don't start now, you'll be talking about it 10 years from now and wish you had started 10 years ago.
We know some of those projects. We're not going to talk about those. Any surprises when you walked into the mayor's office for the first time? Is there a tradition where one mayor leaves a note or something behind? Gene didn't leave like a little mechanical cricket somewhere?
I didn't see a note.
Okay.
Maybe there was one, but I think all of the mayors, there's a place in the area when you first walk in where mayors have signed the desk drawer.
Oh, okay.
So I think that's a tradition that has been carried on for a number of mayors.
Yeah.
But I think the biggest surprise for me has been the excitement, people excited about the possibility and Omaha being able to do great things. And I'm doing everything I can to generate that excitement, but then also make sure that we're taking practical steps to capitalize on it.
And your transition, for all intents and purposes, has been pretty smooth. You have the same chief of staff, Tom Warren, who you and Tom worked together, didn't you, on the force?
Yes, we've known each other since we were 6 years old. Then we were on the police department together for the vast majority of our careers.
And Kathy Bosman, the fire chief. And so you have three huge departments that you really didn't have to work or deal with replacing anybody or doing it. Probably takes a lot of pressure off of you to focus your attention on.
It does, and what it also does is it gives the citizens a sense of security. And for me, that was the biggest thing. I've never forgotten that I work for the people of Omaha. So I wanted them to have a sense that the city was going to be okay. Then what I did was I interviewed all of the people to make sure they understood what my expectations were and the fact that they were going to be accountable based on
what the
agenda was and my expectations. And so they've risen to that occasion. And what it has allowed me to do is hit the ground running instead of spending the first 5 or 6 months trying to hire people and then wondering if you hired the right people.
Person or not. Yeah, I get it. That's nice that the transition was nice and smooth, because you're right. It provides a sense of security to the population of 400 or 500, for something.
Yeah, almost 500,000 people, 485,000.
Is that what it is now? So they know that they can trust their police department, they can trust their fire department, and trust this city office, as a whole. How about any challenges that?
See, I don't look at those the way other people do. So I don't really talk about challenges much. I talk about opportunity.
Right.
And so there's been some opportunities for us to really be able to try and move the dial forward.
Yeah. And I guess I didn't mean in terms of challenges, but maybe something you didn't expect, something that showed up that You say, "Oh, I didn't
Sure.
expect that."
Well, I didn't expect an immigration raid on the first day.
Oh, I guess that was
So that was
even with your Homeland Security.
but
you didn't get an advance warning.
No, I didn't get an advance warning, but we did, I think, handle that well from the standpoint of making sure that we tried to keep everybody calm, and then we did make sure that we tried to get services in place for families as well as they had their loved ones arrested and sent to North Platte.
Yeah, it's scary. It's got to be scary for folks, because they thought everything was fine regardless of whether they were here legally or not. But then all of a sudden have your life upended and things going on. But we got to do things the right way, I guess, the legal way. So hopefully that'll fix itself.
Yeah, I think it'll fix itself. I just remind people that some of this is of our own making. Mm-hmm. I think we've become reliant on a workforce that does jobs that, quite honestly, a lot of times we don't want to do anymore. And
I was in the hotel business for 25 years, so I know that. Yeah, I know how that whole philosophy works, or that thought process works.
Right. And so what I think we have to do is I think we have to come up with a comprehensive immigration plan that allows people an opportunity to work, and then work their way towards some type of permanency. That doesn't necessarily have to be citizenship, but it could be, or it could be just having the right documentation to be able to come here, live here, work here, take care of your family, and pay the appropriate taxes and things into the system.
Yeah, because they obviously they're coming here for a better life, and and Nebraska is certainly the good life. So why would they? Why would people not want to come to the state? But you're right. You got to be able to do it the right way and the legal way. I know one of your big issues in Omaha itself is domestic violence.
Yes.
You want to chat on that a little bit? And how do we?
Yeah, one of the things I would say is there is never any place for people to put their hands on another person and physically injure them, or even the verbal abuse and all of those things that happen. So what we really need to do is have people be willing to say, hey, I need to get some help. I need to get away from this situation, and do it in a calm way where people don't get injured. We had a week where we had in October where we had a number of domestic violence related incidents. And that's just not the Omaha that I want us to be. I want us to be where we are actually working to take and create great family environments and having an opportunity for people to be able to live in peace.
Right.
And so I think we have to continue to double down on the prevention side of things, but then also on the service side of things for women and children, and even some men who are abused, so that they have the resources to be able to restart their lives and get out of those situations. One of the things I found very interesting is, as we look at the homeless population, homeless and unsheltered, over 50% of the women that are homeless are people who are escaping domestic violence.
I didn't realize that. Wow.
Or some type of sexual violence.
Wow.
And so that was one of the reasons I didn't feel like we should be criminalizing it, as well as we have a lot of homeless veterans. Those are people that we should be trying to help.
Yeah, and I didn't, from a personal standpoint, I didn't get the whole thing with the encampments and then charging them $500 fine. They don't have any money anyway. Where are they going to come up with a $500 fine? It didn't make much sense, but
But that was
but
just, you know, when we talk about domestic violence,
Yeah.
that's just one of the things I found as I was
Wow.
looking at all of this and talking to people in the service providing area for domestic violence victims.
And we have those services available here
Yes,
in
we
Omaha,
do.
don't we? Is it just that they don't have enough funds to get the word out, or they don't have enough staff, or people are afraid to
I think part of it,
contact them? Or
yeah, I think that fear is part of it. I think it's also a lot of times difficult for people to leave a situation when they've built a relationship. And so that's where we've got to do as much as we can to let people know, hey, that's not okay. And then having people, when they see something, try to assist that victim rather
report it.
than ignoring it or thinking, well, it's not my business. Well, it is our business.
Yeah, especially if they're neighbors.
Yes.
You know,
Or
especially
family
if they're a
members.
family member too. Yeah, absolutely. It's there is some responsibility from
Absolutely.
everybody to take care of one another that way. And I hope I didn't catch you off guard, but I did mention earlier before we started. There's an acronym, HAPPIER.
Sure.
Would you explain that to
Sure.
our
I'll go
audience?
through it as best I can.
Okay.
But we have.
I know I caught you off guard. You don't have
Sure.
your notes with you, but
No, that's okay. We have 7 task force implementation groups that we're working on in Omaha based on things that people talk to me about during the campaign, as well as things that we have done a lot of work on as a city. And there's plans in place, and I don't want those plans just to sit on the shelf.
Right.
So the first letter, H, is for homeless.
Okay.
Then A is for affordable housing.
Okay.
And then P is for poverty elimination plan. And then I can't remember what the
Sorry.
next P is. That's okay.
I should have prepped you before.
But
that.
then we have infrastructure,
Right.
and we have environment, and then we have the last one, the R, drawn a blank.
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
I'm sorry, Your Honor.
But I'll get it to you, you can tell people what it is.
We will get it. We'll post it up on the.
But I just can't think of it all right off the top of my
I caught you
head.
off guard. It was something I remember from your talk at the press club.
Sure.
And so.
Oh, risk and resiliency is the
resiliency.
R. So we only got the one P. So I'll
Okay.
think of that one before we go.
Okay. And so, I mean, it's kind of been a whirlwind 150 days or so. You have over 3 years left in your administration, in the current one, and
Sure.
you may decide to run again and run again and run again. And kind of.
Well, I don't know how many times I'll run, but I'm sure I'll run
There's
at
no term
least
limit,
one
is there,
more.
for mayor?
No.
Where do you see the city in 2 years from now or 3 years from now? And assuming you didn't want to run again, hey, I'm going to stay in here for 4 years. Where would you like it to be at the end of your 4-year term?
Sure. In order to get where I want us to go, quite honestly, I think it has to be looking at it from almost like a 5 to 10 year perspective. So that's why I'm almost 100% certain that I would run again. But we've got to finish up the streetcar and really take advantage of the opportunity we have for economic development and the $4 billion worth of investment that could be out there.
And a lot of it's already started.
Yes.
I
No, I know you
earlier,
didn't want to talk
go down
about
that
it,
road,
but the street.
a lot of it has started. You
Sure.
have the Duo building, ConAgra. You have the old First National Bank.
Sure, Mutual of Omaha.
Mutual. That's several. It's a few $1 billion of investment right there.
And so that long term really helps set Omaha's future, as well as we've got the Crossroads as well, which is another $1 billion project.
Right.
So by the time this is all said and done, we've got $5 billion there. Then we'll have the old Mutual property. That development will probably be close to $1 billion. So that's $6 billion
right there.
worth of economic activity right there in the core of our city.
Yeah.
And so that's one of the things I want to focus on, is taking advantage of that opportunity and being able to spread it a little bit further north and south, so that we can really do economic development in the heart of our city.
Right.
One of the things people don't think about is, because of the land use practices that we've had,
Right.
we're going to run out of land in terms of being able to go any further west
Right.
in 20 to 25 years if we keep doing what we're doing.
Yeah.
So the more we can increase density in our inner city, that does a number of things. One, it buys us more time.
Mm-hmm.
Two, and people don't think about this much, but one of the reasons Omaha has a lot of expenses is because it's expensive to cover such a large area. Our city
streets, 5,000
lane
something
miles,
like that, 5,000 lane miles. Yeah.
but our city is really big in terms of land size compared to a lot of other cities that are smaller and have significantly larger populations.
Right.
So when you have all of that land mass, that's extra expense that you have to cover in delivering police services, fire services, street repair, snow removal. So the more density we can create, the greater the opportunity for us to be able to deliver those services efficiently.
Yeah.
So I want to really help us get that. I think the other thing is the economic development incentives. I think we're going to have to work really hard to get those approved, but then I think we're going to have to work even harder to aggressively keep companies here, give them the opportunity to expand, but then also recruit companies so we grow more jobs.
Yeah, and that's that's got to be the time. And then that's you working along with Chamber of Commerce and the state chamber and the state economic development director, because you mentioned
it's all got to be a partnership.
It's not just Omaha.
This is for the whole state.
Yeah,
if we do this for the whole state, we have a great opportunity to eliminate any deficits that we have. Right now, they're going to be looking at how to eliminate $452 billion.
Wow.
That's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money. Well, somebody could win the Mega Millions. I think it's up to $7 billion right now.
Okay. Well, you'd have to win that to help.
Some of these folks ought to be out there buying lottery tickets. But in the last few minutes that we have, is there anything in particular else, anything that I left out, or anything you want to kind of tell our viewing audience about?
Sure. Not to get overly political, because that's never what I try to do. But as I look around the country, there are a lot of things that are happening that create unrest and chaos. One of the things I'm always trying to do is to create a sense of calm and a sense of it's okay here in Omaha, Nebraska. I can't do anything about any place else. But I want to
you can be a voice of Omaha, and if things work here, we can say, hey, we got it.
Well, that's the goal. Yeah. That's the goal, to say, hey, this is how
one person can't do it on their own.
Here's how we should be building our cities. Here's how we should be partnering in our states. I think we have that opportunity. That's a long-term thing as well, though, where people are going to have to see the results over years. And I'll give you an example of where we're already leading. We have one of the lowest crime rates in the United States and have reduced gun violence significantly, reduced homicide significantly over what they were in the peak years. And so now we're one of 4 model communities.
Okay.
And we're probably the #1 model community for President Barack Obama's foundation.
Okay.
And about 15 to 20 cities across the country are contacting us asking, well, how did you reduce your crime? And so we are leading in some areas already. And I was honored when I was still with the police department as a deputy chief to help start the crime prevention covenant that led to the 360 effort that people are employing now to help keep Omaha safe, and partnering with other cities like Kansas City, New Orleans, Lansing, Michigan, Yonkers, New York, Columbus, Georgia.
Wow.
So there's a number of cities that are so
in that same.
Yes, we have the ability to lead at a national level, and that's what I want to do.
Are we missing out on the marketing side of that somewhere along the line? Or is
Absolutely,
that
we are.
Yeah.
Absolutely. We in the Midwest like to be very modest.
Yeah.
And we don't like to brag. But here's how I like to look at it so people feel more comfortable. If it's the truth, it's not bragging.
Exactly.
So we just have to tell people the truth about Omaha, because once they get here, they never want to leave.
I've been here 30 plus years. I grew up in New Jersey. I made it from, through Marriott hotels, etc.
Sure.
But I came back in 1992 and I haven't left since. It's just a great place to live. We have a great community, great people, terrific businesses, probably some of the best restaurants, at least, out of 35 or 40 states. And, why would people not want to move?
Exactly.
To Omaha?
But we don't tell people.
Yeah.
Everybody you talk to, once they get here, they will tell you Omaha's a hidden jewel.
Yeah.
Well, my goal is to take away the hidden and just let everybody see what a jewel Omaha is. So that's going to take us being aggressive. That's going to take us maybe getting a little out of our comfort zone to say how great we are and what we have to offer. Just like one of our companies is going to potentially be bringing jobs here to Omaha.
Oh, wow.
Well, one of the things I've said is if you need the city, we'll partner with the chamber and anybody else to put on a hospitality event so we can tell them about Omaha. So
Welcome
we can
them to the
convince
city.
those people to come to Omaha. But those are the
Meet
type
them on the
of
yellow
things-
brick road, right?
Absolutely. But those are the types of things we have to do more of. We just got to tell people what a great place this is. It's not only a great place to raise a family, it's safe, it's clean and affordable, but it's also a lot of fun now. We're starting to generate some really fun, cool stuff in Omaha.
We're so lucky with all the different arts that we have
Absolutely.
here. Joan Squires and her group. She's
Does
been
an
here for 20
amazing
years.
job.
And that new Tenaska Engagement Center, the Luminarium now that's been open for a couple of years, obviously the #1 zoo in the nation. There's a lot going for us, plus the restaurants, plus the ability there's green space.
Yeah. And we're going to be doing an even better job with our parks and creating some opportunities there. We've got some great discussions going with the philanthropic community.
And that's another thing we have going for us too. We have a huge philanthropic community, a lot larger than and probably cities close to our size. Wichita, I know, they have the Koch Foundation and a bunch of other things, but I don't think they're, from what I understand in an article from, I think it was the New York Times or Wall Street Journal several years ago, talking about the difference between the philanthropic attitude in Omaha as compared to Wichita. And we were far greater.
Yeah, I think we're probably one of the top cities in the country for that.
Yeah, very lucky.
Yes. So those are things that are to our advantage, but we don't talk about them.
Yeah, we need to get the word out. So one last thing before we go,
Sure.
I was asked, you don't have a Superman shirt underneath there, do you?
No, I don't wear Superman shirts when I get ready for work, but I do wear superhero shirts
There
when
you
I
go.
work out, whether it's Superman or Captain America. I have a whole bunch of them. But I do that for two reasons. One, accountability.
Right.
So it makes me accountable for getting up and working out every day.
Gotcha.
And then the second one is it's just fun.
Yeah.
And one of the things I decided a long time ago after retiring from the police department was I was going to have more fun than everybody else.
Yeah.
Because life is serious enough
Yes. Yeah.
without making it more serious.
Yeah.
So my goal is to have fun while taking care of the serious stuff.
And that's it's got to be a fun job being the mayor of the city.
It's a great job. I mean, you deal with tough moments,
yeah,
but I'm okay
it comes
with
along
that.
with the job, and you wouldn't if you didn't know that going in, you probably wouldn't have run or
Right.
accepted the position. So you prepared yourself, correct? So cool. So we've been chatting with John Ewing Jr., 52nd mayor of Omaha, 41st largest state in the nation. And thank you so much for coming on the podcast this afternoon, and really appreciate it. And anything that we can do for you to help out, feel free to keep in contact with us. But it's been a pleasure. One of the toughest thing is,
and I just thought of something real
personally,
quick. I'm going to take out my phone if you don't mind, because I think I have Happier in my phone.
Oh, okay. Well, he's looking at that. It was a little awkward because John and I, Mayor Ewing and I have served on the Faces Committee for the Press Club for the last several years. And so it's kind of awkward because I would be able to refer to him as John, but I respect the position as mayor, so I'm referring to you as Mayor Ewing.
So we don't have to wait.
Okay.
Happier is homelessness, affordable housing, parks, which I should have remembered.
Yeah, I should have remembered that too.
Poverty elimination action plan, infrastructure, economic development, risk and resiliency.
There we go. So we'll post that up on the podcast, and again, appreciate the Mayor coming on this afternoon, and thank you so much for participating with the Inner Circle. And
absolutely, thank you for having me, Gil.
Sure, absolutely, it's been great. Thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks for joining us on the Inner Circle. Hit that like and subscribe button so you'll never miss an episode.